miracle. We are going with it. Free miracle. Free miracle. No miracles, no. 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 No miracles, no.
For yesterday, we brought you an update on this particular platform about Dennis Miracles Aboagye. This is Bawumia's key spokesperson. He apparently is one person who is also vying to be the next MPP communicator, the whole party's communicator. Now, 3 days ago, we heard a news, particularly somewhere on Sundays, that Dennis Miracles Aboagye was arrested at the Accra International Airport, formerly Kotoka International Airport. Now, the details of it, was very murky. Not just said not very clear and very clean, because in 70C and at a point in time, many people were saying, so Dennis Miracles Aboagye said you know the cocaine and there were some of the assertions say, because of unrelated activities. But then this year, the Economic and Crime Office, EOCO, almost the statement about said the main reason why Dennis Miracles Aboagye was arrested was because of a scandal involving a $55 million. Mind you, Dennis Miracles Aboagye, he used to hold a position in the previous administration, talking about the New Patriotic Party. It's Brana or CEO of that particular position and that particular organization. Yes, on no. And yes, just a contract be this particular contract is worth over $55 million. Apparently, on the executives and I say the board of directors need be signing off on that particular contract. They says what they were supposed to use to do, they did not use the money to do that. And apparently or allegedly, Dennis Miracles Aboagye and these executives kind of pocketed the money. So that has actually brought us to where we are today. Apparently, he was arrested. Now, many people are asking, say, Dennis Miracles Aboagye, fine. Allegations with the bonnie. But the big question I'm going to be saying in all of these things, when this guy was moving from GTV to almost all the stations in this particular country, how come he was never ever arrested in all of these things are not EOCO? And apparently Kotoka one and now yebedi kind this particular update because the EOCO for the Ababe Tujan, that is exactly what is really shocking. I'm going to say, okay, if this is true, then perhaps it is making the allegations seem more kind of scary, and at the end of the day, it is not looking good for Bawumia's top PR person. Talking about Dennis Miracles. Now, Osha the EOCO for the Ababe Tuja, make sure say this whole case are very scary. This particular communique you're reading English here, but what they are trying to tell us is that Nipana on the Dennis Miracles Aboagye omoji sa $55 million. Sa Nipano already that Nipano already no started say otua say scan bin kakra ema EOCO. Which means these allegations are not mere allegations. They are allegations which have perhaps been substantiated. And then at the end of the day, these key people, they are being forced or subpoenaed by the courts and EOCO to pay the money. Buying at the almost at Thomas or Muntua Dennis Miracles on Rankasa, the assistant as scanner. So does this whole thing make him guilty as fact? Before then, you can read all of these in Yama EOCO and answer this particular press statement. Yesterday, a whole lot of MPP executives and MPP party members actually stormed the premises of EOCO. It is only this just not any and they all share the scenes Nibia a course. Now, one of the things I would like you to take note of is that at the end of the day, we are learning saying numero any day numero EOCO actually granted Dennis Marcos Aboagye a bill of 50 million Ghana cedis. And apparently, that 50 million Ghana cedis, Dennis Marcos Aboagye could not even meet or fulfill those bill conditions. So currently, he is still in the police coffers. But then let's watch some of the scenes, of course. So, we'll look into the details. This particular press release, Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, for Mediaba, implicating Bawumia spokesperson. The big question is Bawumia part? Is he involved? These are things I'm about to bring the ABSA.
Really? Look at what you are doing. What are you saying? What are you saying? Really? Look at what you are doing. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Now, this was just one of the scenes of course, so I'll be watching most of the scenes of course. So, but one of the things I also want you to know is that the people there were so crowded. Say the police had to actually bring reinforcement. They had to actually bring certain, I don't know, accoutrements or gadgets on media item as scare off and now push it back to the protesters. And one of them was this machine, I say a water pump machine. You could actually see the policeman's business. And show it together with a host of other videos. Yensaka. That officer standing there, that man standing there. How do you tell them that it's not ever coming, mommy? Why do you do that? We are just demonstrating. I see a movie car. Me, yeah, on for mommy. Because the police are doing their work very well. You understand? We've been here this morning. Yeah, we can go hospital. Go back. Go to where? We are going back to EOCO. Go back. That's your command. Nobody is going to do this. Let them go. They want to lead them here. So that they will go. They want to just lead them here. Give way. Nobody is going to cross. Give way. Nobody is going to. I don't understand this stuff. We want to go to so let's give way. Give way. Commander, give way to traffic. Nobody's going to give way to traffic. Nobody commanders. I just want to ask a question. The police people don't know their weapons. We want traffic to flow. Former vice president.
trying to say that the police doesn't know their work for what? Because the police are doing their work very well. You understand? We've been here this morning. Yeah, we can.
Now, these are some of the scenes and that I call so EOCO office. I'm talking about the Economic and Organized Crime Office. That's the 13th of July 2026. Now, based on these accounts in EOCO 4, the arrest actually took place under their orders, which means Dennis Marcos Aboagye is indeed with them. Now, they brought out a press release. This particular press release is giving us a blow-by-blow account and telling us what is really going on, and at the end of the day, you know, how Dennis Aboagye was actually involved in all of this. And let's read this. Also, arrest of Dennis Aboagye, aka Miracles, and Gerald Appiah in respect to 55 million investigations into the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization, that is IMCCOD. So I learned is that this whole arrest is in regards with a certain contract which was passed off at the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization, that's IMCCOD. At that time, now boss Dennis Marcos Aboagye and also an assistant Gerald Appiah says can inform Mosasia. They don't know what they use the money for. Apparently believes that money went into their coffers. Now, almost started off by saying that Accra 13 July 2026. Also, the Economic and Organized Crime Office EOCO wishes to inform the general public that it has arrested Mr. Dennis Miracle Edward Aboagye, a former executive secretary of the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization, that's IMCCOD, in connection with ongoing arrests. Follows in connection with the ongoing investigations into alleged financial and procurement related irregularities at the Secretariat. The arrest follows extensive investigations commenced by EOCO after receiving petition from the current Executive Secretary, IMCCOD, requesting further investigations into a forensic audit conducted into the affairs of the Secretariat covering the period from 1st August 2022 to 2nd February 2025. So we are learning, sir, this particular year arrest of Dennis Marcos Aboagye, it did not just come off hand. Dennis Marcos Aboagye, he was one of the executive secretariat or interministerial committee on any assistant. Apparently no says cover for mass. Now new people appointing new people. No, say Banny share the past records of the year what we spent on, what the company spent on procurement. Yeah, certain things don't sound right. Certain things does not make sense. And based on this, no, it is we need to investigate. So they actually petition EOCO to investigate the matter. Say, Sikebia kupie the records, no, and EOCO starting investigation. No. In all of these things, a certain money, which is $55 million, is perhaps missing or being blown or was blown out of proportion. Yet, also the investigations which commenced last year following an initial forensic audit of the IMCCOD and the subsequent petition concerned the suspected misappropriation, misapplication, diversion, and theft of public funds amounting to about 55 million cedis. So I learned that this whole thing apparently Dennis Marcos Aboagye or no, it is because the time no as the secretariat, the executive secretariat of that particular they blew the money, they misused the money to show where no use or say misappropriation, misapplication, and also theft, which means that Dennis Marcos Aboagye in some you could yabani ya as a mobile sicano we are on an microphone head or maybe says kind of mokano almost also extra say they've also diverted the money, which means says kind of be the public in terms of where the money is supposed to go. They diverted the money to other illegal sources for illegal purposes other than what it was supposed to do. And based on this, that is how come apparently Dennis Marcos Aboagye yachina executive say this whole issue of demonstration at the EOCO office it has brought about. The former executive secretary of the IMCCOD, Dennis Marcos Aboagye, and the former accountant IMCCOD, that's Mr. Gerald Appiah, and others are under investigation for subjected offenses, including number 1, conspiracy to steal and stealing. So these are the charges that they are born. And which is number one, saying Kofuino, or my boom a yard, and the Brunibecas conspiracy to steal, and now to move Yankasa, which is stealing. 2, using public office for profit, and the apparent they are saying Sikananka was on the Jumano, they use it for other purposes other than what is supposed to be, which is using the public office for profit, which goes contrary to and is a breach of public laws, and which is a breach of laws as a public officer and a person holding a public office. 3, causing financial loss to the state. They are saying it says kind of boy, you know, a bogana kayipa. 4, dissipation of public funds. So no pass say can't was some of the yard, you know, or media be for other than that. 5, defrauding by false pretenses. Number so much church on crash high and yama or defrauded Ghana buying. 6, money laundering. And apparently, you know, says can be baby a man on any idea. And you know, the bob on one of them, and then number 6 on it, you know, money laundering. Now, that is not all, because the charges, you know, back one, the West screens as well, 7 other suspected offenses. I'm gonna say all other things. When you know, the account why and back will say other suspected offenses. So, try to say, EOCO knows that Gerald Appiah has voluntarily begun refunding or returning the loop of funds connected to the crime under investigation. These recoveries do not and by themselves conclude the investigative process, neither does it absolve any suspect of the crime. And Ocha said one of them, Dennis Marcus Aboagye, an accountant, and I'm basically assistant, no, I find Gerald Appiah, no, I don't know, so IMCCOD, hono, or not, you was started or returning scano in Kakra, but then China actually, when then chance, or more returning scanning the any, or free debit, still, many other things are there, perhaps anytime yet show. Also, following significant new findings last week relating to suspected fraud and theft involving Mr. Dennis Marcus Aboagye, who is already aware of the investigations and has already visited the office on it, EOCO initiated an operational plan to effect his arrest this week. As part of these processes, Mr. Aboagye was placed on a stop order a week ago to prevent any sudden travel that could impede the investigations this week. Unknown to the office, he had already departed the country. So this is where all the things get murky, and that's where EOCO is telling us that his arrest is stemming from. So apparently, you know, as all this investigation was going on into the IMCCOD, you know, involving Dennis Marcus Aboagye, the chief accountant of that particular office during the previous administration, you know, saying all of this is an air course, you know. Dennis, the accountant, was I say this can be the air back. Dennis too have been also cooperating with investigation. He's been visiting the EOCO office from time to time. But then last week, you know, investigations from say, in fact, this $55 million scandal, no, there's more to it, and there's another lump of sum, which is also different or parallel to this particular investigation. And based on that, you know, and all this former catcher Dennis Marcus Aboagye said, we are still investigating you. We've not cleared you or anything. So you can't leave the country. So the Dennis Marcus Aboagye had to be a stop list. This particular stop list, no, stop order, no, a just want to mean 2 coin in Ghana. But you see, last week, Dennis Marcus Aboagye, if he count, you know, 2 coin per coupe. Now, a bro 2 coin per coupe, no, let's say you could phone a drum, say, Sana. A year in your Bema and I papa, a year Kenufrata, and then US force or a citizen in Tiaman and Bagan and BMR, walk pray a year citizenship of America. So if Dennis Marcus Aboagye will say, now I violated the stop order, and year or Bagana, I was here, we can't have a Kenufrata 2.0, then it means we as a country and the government itself, it has not learned anything. So a brad Dennis Marcus Aboagye, a Bagana pet. Or arrive ye pet and no. Or say upon his arrival at the Kotoka International Office, Kotoka International Airport, on Saturday night, officers of the Ghana Immigration Services executed the stop order and handed Mr. Aboagye over to the EOCO on Sunday morning. He subsequently accompanied investigations on a search. He was subsequently accompanied investigations on a search on Sunday, which is expected to continue today. EOCO further confirms that Mr. Aboagye will be granted bail in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of Ghana. Likewise, Mr. Gerald Appiah is expected to complete his bail conditions today and will be released while investigations continue. EOCO remains committed to conducting its investigations professionally, impartially, and strictly within the law. The office will continue to respect the constitutional rights of all persons under investigations while pursuing its mandate to investigate economic and organized crime and recover public funds. The public is assured that further updates will be provided when appropriate. So now, no more say, all as at yesterday, I said Dennis Marcus Aboagye was on an assistant, was with a EOCO for. But apparently, what really happened was that Dennis Marcus Aboagye was with a EOCO on an assistant, to see a more bill, Yama on an assistant ni bill. I just an assistant ni podi akakakra, yes, akakakra. Let's just say what fulfill a yet ni bill conditions. Akakakra na wafofili any bill conditions. So that is it. And much say Amara Dennis Marcos Aboagye su bill apparently kranum omako searching if any idea. So that is exactly what is really going on now. Menoka say in across a lot of a year you could see all these matches. Yes, you could see all these matches are air caution the fire by any. Yeah. Therefore, that is exactly what is really happening. Menoka say, just say there's been much a year debate about all of this and also most reactions. But Menoka say, in Penifo be more or more the new patriotic party or Mudin Simbi Ababe Tuja say, dear Mahama yen is setting a bad precedent for the country. And also no Yanshini Yan before be on Ghana so in the next 8 years and the next 4 years and then the past executives ne bimu bill no we
are not asking you to speak on our behalf. We are not asking you to sympathize with us. All that we are asking you is to take notice of how the NDC want this country to be governed. And power, we say, is transient. Power, we say, is transient, and no condition is permanent. I will send a word of caution to appointees of this government that they should be worried for tomorrow. And I'm afraid, and I am afraid for appointees of this government. The power is not transient. But when the table turns, I don't expect you, the same media, to come and accuse the MPP government that our forefathers made to bring this country to this point. That the NDC government under His Excellency John Mahama want to take us backwards. But we know that with all that is happening, there's a hidden agenda, an attempt to divert attention from what the president is seeking to do by seeking for a third term as president. He doesn't want Ghanaians to talk about it. He doesn't want Ghanaians to comment about it. So therefore, let's throw in something that will divert attention. But Mr. President, he cannot be Mobutu Sese Seko of Ghana. He cannot be Idi Amin of Ghana. The constitution is clear. 2 terms is 2 terms. We are not asking you to speak on our behalf. We are not asking you to sympathize with us. All that we are asking you is to take notice of how the NDC want this country to be governed. And power, we say, is transient. Power, we say, is transient, and no condition is permanent. I will send a word of caution to appointees of this government that they should be worried for tomorrow. And I'm afraid, and I am afraid for appointees of this government. The power is not transient. But when the table turns.
All right, so that is a year in Sema or the Tuja, a year Justin Frimpong Kudia or say if the tables turn, trust me, no one should come and be pointing fingers.